Hi, Universe. Today I'm here with Austin. He's a very innovative founder in the Gen Z space, and he built two amazing companies. He's going to be happy to share his backgrounds, and he's also joining the Universe ecosystem. Very excited to interview him today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on.
Of course. So, Austin, in terms of your story, where did it start?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, since as long as I remember, I was always interested in entrepreneurship and code. So those are kind of the two things that really brought me to where I am today. When I was about 8 years old, I took my first Java course. I was fascinated with code. I was never really great at it when I first started, but I think it was just my determination and continuing to come back to it over and over again, which really allowed me to excel. I was always making these websites for people when I was ages 8 to 12. Then I started trying to do mobile apps. And I was really just trying to get my head in the door of everything from the front end, back end, full tech stack and everything. And when it came around my 10th grade year in high school, I started to create the development for SeatMaker. The idea came from, I was attending this youth organization, and I would be responsible for creating all these seating arrangements for everyone. And it was really frustrating because we would have these Excel documents, and we had thousands of people to sort, and we didn't really know where to put everyone. And it was a really frustrating process that just took a lot of time. And I was always to my friends, if we just had this one tool that could just had everyone with our contacts and just kind of put everyone in the list, it could save so many hours. And that's when I was why don't I just try building it myself? So I guess from there, I started to work on SeatMaker. And do you want me to keep going on it? Or?
Yeah, please continue. Very interesting story, by the way, Austin. The fact that you are able to, jump right in, kind of do a lot of the coding yourself, really shows kind of your skill as well as, your ability to, really be kind of self-sufficient and self-sustaining, which really makes for a really strong entrepreneur.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So I guess in 10th grade to 12th grade is really when the development side came on. A lot of kids my age were trying to vibe code apps, which I was all for, but since I had the technical background, I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could build a lot of it without AI. So I started learning Swift. I watched thousands of YouTube videos, and I really could do the same thing anyone else watching this could do, where I was just constantly learning, iterating, finding examples, just kind of putting it in my own spot. And I really was no different than anyone else doing this. I think I was just more consistent, and I was really determined to get this outcome there. I also, I think I came about it with a pretty smart angle because I had a lot of small businesses that kind of failed before this, and I really knew that I had to validate the idea. So while I was building, I was always asking people their thoughts. I was seeing if people were willing to pay for this, if they would actually use this, and I got a lot of positive feedback on it. So that kind of led me to continue designing it and building it. And finally, when it came around to 12th grade, I'm actually in the process of writing a book about this whole development because it was very frustrating since Apple is pretty strict about what can be approved on their platform, and we're going back and forth for months trying to get it approved. And finally, when it got approved, the first day it got approved, I came to New York City. I came with a couple friends. I had hundreds of dollars in singles, and I was handing out bills to people saying, for $1, would you do this? The typical street interview approach. I was getting everyone to download it, and I also knew that the lifestyle category was a little bit more niche in terms of apps. So I figured that I'd have the best shot of ranking for that category. And to my surprise, within the first 24 hours, we ranked, I think number 40 on the App Store. And then within 48 hours, we ranked number 4 in the App Store, which was really, really great because before this, it was all just an idea I had. And now not only are we on the App Store and people actually using our product, but we had thousands of people there was tons of eyeballs on this product. And since then, I just started to kind of network. I learned a lot about how apps work, the consumer market. I started learning about designing paywalls, pretty much every element from the marketing side, the technical side, and everything really in between there. And that's what kind of led me to about December's when I launched my SAT company, StudyShare, which is now the most successful. And
awesome. Yeah.
Sorry, you have anything else?
That's awesome, Austin. Tell me more about StudyShare. Definitely can see kind of your progression. And I love, on this interview, you kind of take us through, your thought process, the obstacles you faced, the challenges that you've overcame. And I love to see kind of growth. And I definitely see, with your story, the amount of learning that went in, trial and error, but ultimately, success. So I'd love to learn as well about StudyShare. Tell us more.
Yeah, of course. So this time I kind of came at it with a different approach from SeatMaker. SeatMaker was fully bootstrapped and was like just me. I
Yeah.
wanted to tackle everything myself, but as you know, and any other successful founder knows, you can't really do everything by yourself. And if you do, you're going to be your biggest bottleneck, because it takes a good founder to realize that you can't be everyone, because you're not going to be the best at everything, and it's going to be inefficient for you to try doing marketing, the product, and designing, and everything else. So I had a co-founder. He's no longer with us, but he knew a lot about like Gen Z stuff. He knew a little bit about marketing, and he was kind of going to be the person who had a little bit more experience than I did in terms of like creating a business. So I had him. I had Evan Yadagari, who was our CMO. He had to also drop off as well, but now we have another great CMO. His name's Jesse. And we have two tech guys in London who are excellent at what they do. I've never seen anyone build like them before. So the real idea of what we were doing is we found that all SAT content was extremely overpriced for what users were getting, and it seemed like there was no medium. There were some free options like Khan Academy, but what they were delivering was significantly subpar to all the paid ones, and we really wanted to give students in middle to low income areas access to study at the same level as students who may be receiving like in-person tutoring and spending thousands of dollars.
Yes.
So yeah,
Genius.
kind of like Universe, we've built like an all-in-one hub for SAT. Everything from videos to lessons to quizzes to short form stuff, really the whole mix. So we can kind of cater our studying to each individual user to make it as personalized as possible, which is kind of our mission today.
That's really amazing. I like how you kind of thought about, SATs from every single angle, and you also kind of made it super mission driven, like really solving a challenge, which is access. And it sounds like this company is going to do really amazing things. Austin, where can we find you, in terms of socials and stuff like that? Where can people reach out who see kind of all the amazing stuff that you've done, that want to learn more about your companies? Where can they find you?
Yeah, of course. My LinkedIn is Austin Frankel. I post everything with all my companies there, links to my Instagrams for the companies and other social media platforms. Yeah, if you'd like to work on something else in the future, join one of my teams. More than happy to connect with you. If you go to my LinkedIn, Austin Frankel, I'll send you the link after.
Awesome. We're going to kind of drop that, on the screen here. Austin, really phenomenal, interview. It was amazing learning more about yourself, your companies, your background. Thank you so much.